It's time for Eastmont Volleyball on the NCW Life Channel. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth, Collins Fashions, Town Nissan, and Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Now let's go to the Eastmont Wildcat Gymnasium for all the action with NCW Life Channel's Eric Grandstrom.
Welcome to Eastmont High School for an oddity here. It's a Saturday afternoon, and we're going to do live volleyball right here on the NCW Life Channel. I'm Eric Grandstrom, and today we've got a non-leaguer to boot. It is the Eastmont Wildcats playing host to the Lake City Timberwolves.
Do you know how to
Where's
stream on
Lake
Facebook
City? Well,
for the
that's in
Tri-County?
Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. They're a 5A school in Idaho, which is equivalent to a 4A school here in the state of Washington. So they're a big school, and they have a very successful volleyball program. Their coach came out of the GSL. He's been there just as his first year, and already they're off to a 9-0 start. They're ranked 4th in Idaho in the state, so Eastmont's going to certainly have its hands full as we're now past the halfway point in the season. Dana Pruitt has girls playing very well right now, and they hope to match up against a very good team that's traveled here from Idaho. So we welcome those from Idaho that might be watching us online on the stream, and we welcome them here to Eastmont High School. It's a matchup between the Wildcats and the Timberwolves coming up here on the NCW Life Channel. As we continue on, Dana Pruitt, you might be able to see her behind me, she's a little busy getting the girls ready for the game this afternoon. So we're going to talk to the athletic director for Eastmont High School, Russ Waterman, and our coaches interview as we continue next here on the NCW Life Channel. It's live volleyball today. Don't go away. We'll be right back. The pregame show continues here on the NCW Life Channel as we get ready for this non-league matchup between Eastmont and Lake City out of Coeur d'Alene. And now talk with Russ Waterman because Dana Pruitt's a little bit busy getting her team ready to go here, Russ. Okay. It's our coach's interview, we'll say. He's a coach. He's a former coach. Brought to you by TC Slingers. No needs for wheelbarrows, for shovels, for rakes. They'll place the material for you, Russ. I'm curious how we get a team like Lake City here in East Wenatchee mid-season.
Yeah, it was a tough one to figure out. We originally had a match scheduled with Mount Spokane in Spokane, and they wanted to go to a tournament. So we were left without our 16th game. So we kind of got on the internet and did some searching, and Lake City had an opening, and I called Jim Winger, the AD over there, and said, hey, do you guys want to play? And he goes, sure, we'll come to you this year if you promise us a match next year. So we'll go to Lake City next year. We'll play some volleyball. So we're blessed to be able to have a 16th game.
On the football team against the team in Idaho last night, they come up with a victory against Sandpoint. And is that kind of a take us behind the curtain a little bit and how that works? I mean, you guys worked a lot long time ago, spring and summer, to put these fall schedules together, right?
Yeah, we try to build a 2-year rotational schedule, so we'll go for 1 year, then flop the sites and go the next year. So like for football this year, we had to build a whole new schedule for 2 years. And it was really unique with Hermiston coming into the WIA and playing with the Mid-Columbia Conference out of the Tri-Cities. They only had one game each school, non-conference available. Most of the GSL schools had already scheduled their non-conference games. So it's been kind of an adventure, but you kind of work it out and you call people and you say, hey, can we work out a 2-year deal? And you try to fill those games and hopefully they honor it. And in the panhandle of Idaho, they're looking for games all the time too. And so you want to have parity, and especially in football, you don't have a lot of 1A, 2A teams who want to play a 4A team, so you try to match up. And we were blessed for Sandpoint for 2 years, and we're still looking for 3. We're looking for a week 1, a week 3, and a week 4 right now. So
it's amazing. And then also, you get situations like the smoke that push the schedule out for your outdoor activities. That really causes some headaches, doesn't it?
Yeah, Mother Nature, she doesn't care about schedule. She's going to do what she does. But, it's been resilient. It's been odd that it's been like the last 4 or 5 years that we've had to deal with that. So most of the ADs know that we have plan B and C and D on tap to go, so we work through it.
And the tough part about that is that you're not just scheduling varsity, you're scheduling JV and C team, and then you have to have officials to do those games too.
Yeah, and that's been the kind of a challenge for us in North Central Washington. As an ex-official, the numbers are really dwindling, and that's a nationwide problem. And so you have to work with them, and for our football games, we have to work on a Thursday night for some games for some varsity, some are on Mondays. We move our varsity games to, because of the number of officials we need. So yeah, it's a challenge. It's a logistical puzzle, but usually it works out.
Now, as a former coach, I know that you care about wins and losses. I know as the district is concerned, that's not the primary thing. You want to keep kids active, extracurricular, things like that. But you got to be real happy with what Dana Pruitt has done with the program.
Oh, she's done a phenomenal job with this. I mean, the kids love her, and there's always pitfalls and you know, trials and tribulations during the year. But Dana navigates the waters really well. She's a quality person. She cares about her kids, and really those kids have stepped up and on their own as a team. The leadership of Rebecca Hall and Kobu Shaw and Maddie Sackman, they've really stepped up after last year and really been leading this team this year.
It's interesting, you look at Dana and you look at the rest of the coaches and this trend now where you have to find coaches from somewhere and they're outside the school these days.
Yeah, it is a challenge. It's, you know, the hours, especially in our conference, you go to the cities, Tacoma, Seattle area, GSL, even the Tri-Cities, your longest non-conference or conference game is a 20-minute drive. Here we're on the road, and that's a time commitment that sometimes people don't want to make.
Well, Russ, thanks for your efforts, and thanks for having us here today.
No worries. Thanks for being here, Eric.
You bet. Russ Waterman joining us here on the pregame show. We'll come back and take a look at the lineups and get you ready for the action here between Lake City and Eastmont next on the NCW Live Channel. National anthem taken care of here at Eastmont High School as we're ready for this matchup. Non-league today here on the NCW Life Channel between Eastmont and Lake City. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk on the wild side. Town Nissan, your local East Wenatchee Nissan dealer where honesty and transparency come first. Also by Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee, real clothes for real women. And Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge, your Town Chrysler family store where people get nice surprises. Well, Leanne Branneman available today for doing color commentary, so you just have me here this afternoon. I hope that's all right with you as we get ready for this matchup here. And Eastmont certainly going to have its hands full against the fourth-ranked team in the state of Idaho in their top classification, Lake City Timberwolves, under the guide of Mike Summers. But as we mentioned, Eastmont on a nice little run here, having blanked 2 games in a row. Lake City, meanwhile, comes into the match today here against Eastmont. They've got quite a schedule that they do. And, of course, all of their tournament play is also listed through Max Preps. But they're coming off a win, a 3-1 win. In fact, they won 5 in a row coming into the match here today, going also into tournament play. So the Wildcats out there. They bring in the libero right away, Kobe Volschel. As we are ready to go, it'll be Lake City on the service here as Claire Mitchell will serve it. And we are underway here at Eastmont High School. Stand away off to Volschel, a little deep on that, but Lake City decides they're going to get it over. Now a little touch at the nets, and that was by Ashley Kaufman. Here's a kill attempt at the nets by Sackman. Kaufman again. Nice job by Volschel getting down after that one. Set it up for a nice play across the net. Quite a volley here for the first one, and a beautiful job finding a hole in the pond there. And I believe up front on the little tap, it was Caitlin Hunter for the first point of the game. It goes to Lake City. 1-0, first to 3. Volschel over her head. Let's see. Lady Cats get it over. Rebecca Hall helps on that one. Here's a touch, and Volschel fell down. She was going for the dig, and instead it was touched in front of her for Eastmont by Emma Damon. So Volschel on the ground had no choice, no opportunity to get after that one. 2-0 Lake City. Service, tough serve. Eastmont gets it back over. Second and a kill attempt, and we're going to get in the net here called against Eastmont anyway, and so it's a point to Lake City. 3-0 Lake City here in this first set. Jump serve again by Mitchell. Sackman goes back line to it. Reverse on the set. Nice job again by Volschel getting down. Now they got to get it over, and it is over. Diving play there made across the way by Mitchell. Good volley on this 4th point of the game. It ricochets off a hand. Lake City up to the task here. They get it over. Damon
front side. Here's Sackman. Lake City rotating nicely. Now across it goes. Eastmont needs to get it over. Sackman, block at the net. Point, Lake City. Good rotation here for Lake City as the Wolves continue to put Claire Mitchell back there on the service. 4-0. Timberwolves on top. Back line it goes with tough serve. Eastmont in scramble mode. Volschel gets it over. Near side it comes, and then again Eastmont kind of out of sorts between Damon and Volschel back there. It's about the third time we've seen both ladies go for a ball, and then that leaves a big hole. Another service here by Mitchell. 5-0 Lake City, and finally a point to Eastmont on a service that goes across the end line, and it will be Stanaway on the service here for Eastmont. Trailing at 5-1, first set here. First to 3 wins the game. They'll play 5 if they have to. Volschel down, and another nice dig. Now it's Damon. Back line. It's out. Mark Colander, our official here, head referee today. 6-1 contest with Lake City on top. And now the service to Ashley Kaufman. Kaufman back line, it goes to Sackman. Sackman up front, and now here's the kill attempt at the net by Mendez. Now they get it back over, and Sackman a little too strong with a right hand there. It goes out of bounds. And a point to Lake City. 7-1. Wolves on top. Another service for Kaufman. This one's into the net. So it's only been unforced errors by Lake City to give Eastmont 2 points so far on the scoreboard as they trail at 7-2. Maddie Sackman on the service. Beautiful serve. Nothing you can do with that. Basically an ace. What a gorgeous serve there by Maddie. The 5'9" senior back there to serve again here for the Wildcats. Trailing at 7-3. Beautiful jump serve. Back line it goes. Spins off of a hand. Reyes over. Now Mendez up front for Eastmont. Across, that is across the net, and not much the Wildcats could do with that. They got it just a little bit too far. Went over the net. They weren't able to get a kill on it, and just an easy block for Lake City up front. 8-3 the score. And the service is Ashley Reyes. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCW Life Channel today for volleyball here this afternoon. Block at the net again. Big trees up front. Zion Nelson over there on the block, as well as Claire Heberer. And we're going to get a timeout taken by Eastmont. So we'll take a 30-second break on the broadcast as well. 9-3 Lake City on top here in the first set. We're back after this 30-second timeout on the NCW Life Channel. Our broadcast brought to you in part today by First Choice Collision Center, Heritage Memorial Chapel, and Wenatchee Racket and Athletic Club. The timeout taken by Eastmont after the Wildcats have fallen behind Lake City here 9-3 as the Wolves will continue to serve, and Ashley Reyes again on the service here, the 5'6" senior with the right-handed serve, a little soft, and Volschel goes down after it. Sackman had it. Now across it goes from Rebecca Hall. Here's a set and a kill attempt. Nice job on the back line by Sackman. Over to Hall. Hall with a touch. It's out though, and will be over on another point to Lake City. 10-3 the score. So Lake City again with the service to Ashley Reyes. Backline Volschel barely getting down after that. Now right side Mendez are going to get into the nets by Eastmont. No, 4 hits I'm going to say. So a point to Lake City. Wolves in charge here in the first set. 11-3 the score. Nice again serve here, nice and soft, and now over. It's a kill attempt on the far side by Hall. Lake City right there with an answer though. They get it back over. Stanaway up front to Damon, over to Hall. Hall blocked at the net. Volschel keeps it alive. Sackman. Now Hall gets it over. Crossover, and this one's too far, and a point to Eastmont. Janae Rayborn just a little bit too strong on that kill at the net for Lake City. And now Mendez will service Substitution for the Wildcats. Into the ball game comes Britt Vaughn. Service on the back line. Lake City rotating and right at the net, and nice cross across from Janae Rayborn. Right hand that time took a little bit off of it. Substitution here for Lake City. Claire Heberer comes out, and in for the first time is Chloe Knutson. And Knutson will come in to serve. Flat palm dead serve. And Britt Vaughn, who just checked in, immediately makes a difference for the Wildcats. Point to Eastmont. Britt Vaughn is shown to be that spark plug off the bench for Dana Pruitt all season long. So here's Damon on the service, trailing at 12-5. Beautiful serve. Back line it goes. Up front, Lake City with the kill attempt. Vaughn is there. Now to Damon. Now to Britt. It's a little bit too long, though, past the end line. And a point to Lake City. Well, drifting back to serve for the first time, Janae Rayborn. We've seen her work at the net so far for Lake City. Up by 8, 13-5, and that caught Volschel in between there. Colby grinning with embarrassment after that ball just came right to her and hit her right in the tummy. Service again, back line, Hall, Damon, Vaughn, in, point, Eastmont. So Britt Vaughn has come right in and contributed a couple of points in a row on kills for the Wildcats. 14-6 the score as Rebecca Hall drops back now to serve for Eastmont. Hall serve, good back line. Up front it comes on the set, and a block by Vaughn, point to Eastmont. Kaufman had the kill attempt, but right there again, Britt Vaughn using her athleticism to get up high, make a nice block at the net. Rebecca Hall on the service as Eastmont for the first time holds it serve. It's a little deep and too deep. Good communication by Lake City on that service from Rebecca Hall. Substitution here for the Timberwolves as Caitlin Hunter comes back into the lineup. We have the service by Zion Nelson. Back line, and Eastmont got it over, too deep. Again, Eastmont just not quite into this game so far. They trail it 16-7. Service. Volschel caromed off of her arm. Out of bounds and behind the Eastmont bench. Another point to Lake City. Lead it by 10, 17-7. Again, service to Zion Nelson, the 6-foot senior. Soft Sackman to Damon, to Vaughn. Kill attempt blocked by Lake City. They keep it alive. Volschel up front to Damon. Crosses over to Sackman. Touched by Lake City, out of bounds. Point to Eastmont. Good attempt there by Chloe Knutson. She sprawled out for it, but just couldn't quite get enough of a hand on it. So here we go. Colby Volschel on the service for Eastmont. Back line it goes. Then the serve on a jump serve, and look at that. What a play. First, the jump set screaming in was Riley Chapman. Somehow got a hand on it. And then they directed the ball back to the left corner for the point. 18-8. And the service by Claire Mitchell. Mitchell back line to Long. Now it is in the corner. Maddie Sackman for the kill. So the Wildcats may be waking up here a little bit as Stanaway will serve, trailing it by 9. First set here this afternoon on the NCW Life Channel. Back line it goes. Now the set up front and a kill. Oh, goodness gracious. What do you do with that? It's Ashley Kaufman with a cannon on the right hand there. Substitution here for Lake City as Chapman comes out, and back in comes Janae Rayborn. So they got plenty of height up on that front line. And here's the service by Kaufman. Kaufman jump serve, and it's out. Good eyeball by Sackman back there for the Wildcats. Eastmont trails by 9. Back line up front, and a kill, and it's in. Wow. Boy, they've got nice rotation. Claire Mitchell on the set. And then coming in on the kill was Caitlin Hunter. Hunter comes out. And Zion Nelson back in. And it's Ashley Reyes on the serve here for Lake City, leading at 20-10. And that's in the net. So most of the points for Eastmont, I think all but 3 points here for the Wildcats, coming on errors by Lake City. Here's Mendez on the service for the Wildcats. Tough serve. Barely got over the nets, went back row, and Ashley Reyes sprawling out, can't get to it. So that's an ace for Mendez and the Wildcats. 20-12 now. As Alondra gets ready to serve with that right hand from the left side back there in the corner. That one probably was out. They said it was out, but they still decided to hit it. And now a little miscommunication here for Lake City. Weakly off the hand of Kaufman, so a point to Eastmont. Mendez on a nice little string here for the Wildcats. Another tough serve. Back line it comes. Now the sets, and it's in. Goodness gracious. Janae Rayborn, cross court, able to find enough space over there to keep it in. And a point to the Timberwolves, and Chloe Knudsen will come back in. Serving expert here for Lake City. Back line to Voschel. Up front, Stanaway. Over to Vaughn. Vaughn blocked at the net. Keeping it alive. They do. Back over on the Eastmont side. Stanaway over this time to Rebecca Hall, and it's in for the point. So they got that rotation over to the left side, did Lake City. So Eastmont went back right with it, and Hall's able to find a spot back in the back corner. 21-14. Eastmont trying to stay alive here in the first sets, and Damon now on the service. Tough serve. Ace for Eastmont. Boy. Top spin on that serve as she served it from the right side. Cross court it goes, and trying to dive down was Reyes, but she couldn't get it. Another serve here for Damon. This time she stays to the right side. And nice thought there for Lake City. And again, it's Mitchell all over the place. Mitchell on the set. Now falling down, Damon keeps it alive. Now to Hall. Hall ricochets at the net to the point for Eastmont. How about the Wildcats coming back here? Trail it by 10 just a few points ago. Now trail it by 5. Damon on the serve. Jump serve, back line to Reyes. Now, beautiful play at the net by Claire Mitchell. Or no, they're going to say a lift. Lift. Mitchell doesn't agree, shaking her head here. And so it is a point to Eastmont. Damon maintaining the serve here for the Wildcats. Another serve to the back line. Mitchell near side this time, and Colby Voschel awkwardly going to the ground there. Looks like she's okay, but the kill by Janae Rayborn. She's had quite a few of those. She loves obviously going cross court with it. And a point to the Timberwolves here. 22-17, 3 away from taking this first set. Service, back line to Voschel, up front to Damon. Damon reverse on the hit, and Hall hits it right into the defense of Ashley Kaufman and Zion Nelson at the net. And so it's a point to the T-Wolves. 23-17. Service again is by Chapman. Up front, Britt Vaughn. There we go. Vaughn with enough velocity so that it spins off the hands of Zion Nelson. Gives a point to the Wildcats. And Rebecca Hall now on the service, trailing by 5. All back line. Now up front to Mitchell. Mitchell near side. Block at the net, and they're going to say it hit the antenna. And so that's a point to Lake City. Again for the Timberwolves, Caitlin Hunter comes in on the front line. And a timeout going to be taken here for Coach Dana Pruitt and the Wildcats. And we'll take a timeout as well here on the broadcast. 24-18 Lake City here in the first set. We'll take a 30-second break and come back. You're watching live volleyball this afternoon from Eastmont High School on the NCW Life Channel. Thanks for joining us this afternoon here on the NCW Life Channel. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Or take a walk on the wild side. And Cal Nissan, your local East Wenatchee Nissan dealer, where honesty and transparency come first. All right, a point away from a first set win here. Lake City on the service. Zion Nelson leading at 24-18. Tough serve. Damon back to Sackman. Sackman, ball goes out of bounds. And will be a point to Eastmont, so the Wildcats stay alive. 24-19. And it's Volkman now, or excuse me, Volschel on the service. Back line it goes. Tough return. Mitchell back corner. Show go. And the point for Lake City. And it will be the Timberwolves taking the first set here, 25-19. So we will take a 60-second break and come back and get you ready for the second set after Lake City takes the first. Our broadcast brought to you by Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee. Real clothes for real women, and Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge, your Town Chrysler family store where people get nice surprises. 25-19 the score in the first set. We'll come back with set number 2 after the 60-second timeout here on the NCW Life Channel. Mike Price up there running the camera. We've got Becca Freemuth back in the studio. We'll get you a score here for the baseball playoffs. I believe it is Chicago in business here this afternoon against Washington. And in the top of the 5th, it is the Cubs leading the Nats 3-1 in that one. Later on tonight is the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks after the Dodgers won last night. Also today you got college football tonight, 5 o'clock game time on Fox for Washington State at Oregon as the Cougs take on the Ducks, trying to remain unbeaten so far this season. Tonight Washington hosting Cal. That's a 7:45 kickoff on ESPN. Also today, Eastern Washington teams. Central Washington hosting Humboldt State. That one's probably about wrapped up about now. We'll see if we can get a score on that one. Eastern Washington also at UC Davis. That's a kickoff tonight later at 6 o'clock. So first set goes to Lake City, 25-19. So now answer time for Eastmont here on their home floor. Dana Pruitt taking a look at her lineup here as Emma Damon goes around slapping some high fives, shaking some hands. Lake City, I will say, as we got here to set up for the broadcast this afternoon, they had the C team and the JV games going. Lake City with a good contingent that traveled here today of just their players. There are quite a few parents that we see in the stands as well. So welcome to those folks that have made the trip from Coeur d'Alene to here. But very loud by their underclassmen supporting each other. Here's the service, Stanaway, as we're underway here in the second set. Volschel up front, Stanaway. Sackman with a rifle shot. Lake City with the set. Volschel back line. Stanaway over her head. Sackman gets it over. Falling down. Lake City keeps it alive. Block at the net. Mendez, and a point to Eastmont. Well, it was a great volley in the first point of the first set, and same story here for the first point of the second set. Stanaway just barely out. That didn't miss by much on the service, so we're tied at 1. Ashley Kaufman now on the service for Lake City. Back line it goes to Hall. Up front, Stanaway, and they're going to say a double hit there by Stanaway. Just didn't quite get her fingers close enough together on the little set attempt. And so a point to Lake City. Again, Kaufman service. Back line, Hall. Up front, Stanaway. Reverse to Sackman. Sackman with the kill attempt. Reyes there. And right into the net on the hit by Claire Mitchell from the back line. And the point to Eastmont tied at 2 now. And Maddie Sackman will drop back to serve here for the Wildcats. Far side to Reyes. Up front to Mitchell. Now they try to go across. Nice block there by Mendez for Eastmont. Here's another kill. Mendez with the touch. Now Sackman, they need to get it over. Mendez does. Back line to Reyes. Mitchell cross and another block. Mendez doing really well here. Stanaway near side. Hall. Ball kept alive. The Wildcats are going to get hit for 4 touches here. That's too bad. That's a tough point to lose. Good battle by both sides. But how about the play in that particular point by Alondra Mendez? Impressive. Reyes on the service here for Lake City. Back line to Hall. Up front to Stanaway. Reverse to Mendez. Mendez locked at the line at the net there. So it'll come over near side. Rebecca Hall. Beautiful find on the back line there for the kill and the point. Tied at 3. Here comes Britt Vaughn. She'll replace Kobe Volschel. And Mendez on the service. Ooh, touch the top of the net. Stays in though. And now kill. Mendez right there. Britt Vaughn touches. Now Sackman chasing, and they can't get up to it. Stanaway and Sackman both racing after that one. After the touch and thump at the net by Britt Vaughn. 4-3 Lake City now with the service. Chloe Knudsen. Knudsen soft serve. Oops. Britt Vaughn kind of out of sorts there. That whole point was awkward for Eastmont. On the return by Damon. It just kind of spun from there. So 5-3 Lake City on top. Service. Little soft serve again. That's tough. It was almost no man's land. Britt Vaughn a little bit too strong on the kill attempt as she jumped from about 5 feet from the net. And Dana Pruitt has a little advice for her on how she arcs her right hand. Sackman up to Stanaway. Now to Vaughn. And checked at the net. She was into the net. Looks like she's all right. Getting a little pat from her teammates. 7-3. Lake City after taking the first set 25-19 here in set number 2. Back line Sackman. Now Stanaway. Now Volschel. Up front Mitchell. Cross court and beautiful play at the net. Again by Zion Nelson. Nelson comes up with a point. 8-3 the score. Lake City on top. As Chloe Knudsen will continue serving here. 4 points in a row for Lake City. Volschel up front Stanaway. Stanaway up to Hall. Hall with a beautiful hit, and that rattles off the scoreboard across the way. And so a point to Eastmont. Wildcats needed a point there. Got it. And now Emma Damon will drop back to serve here as her team trails it by 4. 8-4. Damon with a jump serve. A lot of juice on that one. Crosses a go. Nice block by Vaughn. Lake City keeps it alive. Kill attempt at the net. They're going to say Eastmont went into the net. Between Hall and Vaughn on the block. Somebody touched the net as it continues to wiggle in front of us. 9-4 the score. Service by Janae Rayborn. Backline Hall off to Damon. Now to Vaughn. Vaughn on the kill attempt, and goodness gracious, how do they keep that alive? They do. Hall with a block at the net. Vaughn. Volschel nearly hit the ceiling. Sackman gets it over. Up front it goes. Now the kill. A block. Return. Stanaway in. Point to Eastmont. How about that one there? Substitution for Lake City as Riley Chapman comes in. What a point for the Wildcats. Hall with the service for Eastmont. Dipping down. Lake City keeps it away, but this one, oh, nice idea. Up front for the Timberwolves on a reverse kind of set over the net, but it goes out of bounds. Point to Eastmont. 9-6 the score. Hall on the service. Back line it goes. Dipping down. Lake City keeps it alive. Now back line again. Volschel falling down. Now Sackman too strong. As the season has progressed, Maddie more and more athletic tape on that left knee. Service here for Lake City for Zion Nelson, leading it 10-6 right into the net. It goes. So the Wildcats will shuffle bodies again. Mendez comes in for Vaughn. Back to serve is Colby Volschel. Volschel. Returned by Chapman. Now a touch. Damon off to Volschel. Now to Sackman. Left hand. Got it over. Near side. Blocked. Sackman got it over. Kill attempt. Out! Eastmont gets the point. Maintains the serve for Volschel. 10-8. Back line again to Chapman. Little touch. Eastmont keeps it alive. Nice dig there by Hall. Eastmont, oh, this time can't get it as Stanaway and Damon get caught in between there. Substitution here for the Timberwolves. Krista Hawks will come in for the first time. She is a 5'8" junior. And the jump serve on the back line. Eastmont returning it, though, and a nice kill attempt by Stanaway there. But Reyes hits it, and now I thought we had a body in the net, but no, Volschel needs to get it over. She does. Back line to Reyes. Up front to Mitchell. Across court it goes. Kill attempt, and boy, Volschel got a hand on it, but that was a rifle shot over there. And then again by Ashley Kaufman. Service for Mitchell. 12-8, Lake City on top. Into the net it goes. So a couple of serves in a row for Lake City that have gone right into the net court here, hanging at midcourt. And it will be Shane Stanaway on the service here for Eastmont. Back line to Reyes. Up front, Mitchell. Little touch. Eastmont kept it alive, and too bad nobody was there to help out Damon. She kept it alive after Hall somehow got a hand on it. Substitution here for Lake City as Janae Rayborn comes back in to replace Chapman, and back to serve is Ashley Kaufman. Kaufman. Sackman. Mendez. Back line Mitchell. Ooh, almost missed communication there. They get it over. Oh boy. Eastmont keeps it alive. Sackman now touch over. Almost found a hole in the pond. Now the hit. Sackman. Stanaway. Good volley. Touch. Down and into the net goes Lake City. Point to Eastmont. Quite a point for the Wildcats there. 13-10 the score. Sackman on the service. Back line to Reyes. Mitchell now cross court and a dink. Eastmont kept it alive for a moment, but they can't keep it alive forever. And a nice point there by Janae Rayborn for Lake City. Timberwolves service. Their libero Ashley Reyes on the serve, leading it by 4. Near side to Hall. Now to Stanaway. Back to Mendez. Mendez played really well today. Lake City on the block. Mitchell crosses over to Hall and point to Eastmont. Good body rotation there for Eastmont on that point, as they had bodies everywhere they needed them to be throughout that entire volley. Britt Vaughn checks back into the ball game, and back to serve is Mendez as Eastmont trails it by 3, 14-11. Service by Mendez. Back line in. Ace. Turning towards each other, Reyes and Kaufman, they both said that's going to be out. No, it was in. Mendez continues to serve here for Eastmont, trailing it by 2. Good serve again. Back line to Reyes. Up front to Mitchell. Crosses over and it hit the antenna. It's out. Janae Rayborn just couldn't adjust the hit enough to get it back away from that antenna. Mendez service. That one's too deep and that one's out. So Eastmont had gotten into within 1. Now they trail it by 2, 15-13. Volschel comes back in for Eastmont, and so too for the Timberwolves. Chloe Knudsen on the service. Sackman back line. Shane Stanaway near side to Vaughn. Vaughn blocked at the net, so she'll keep it alive. And now again Hall. Vaughn over. Erdman. Block at the net again by Vaughn. How about Britt Vaughn? Goodness. Boy, she can get up there. If she keeps her hands out of the net, she is certainly a factor. So Damon will get the service here for Eastmont, trailing it by 1. They got the first point of this set. That's the only lead they've had. Damon, back line it goes. Up front to Mitchell. Now back on the serve. Hits. Damon gets it over. Back line to Reyes. Up to Mitchell. Near side. Knudsen. Vaughn touched it. And now Eastmont somehow they stay over. Not getting on the line. The pancake. And then goodness. Volschel goes down. And then Zachman tries to kick it to keep it alive. 16-14. Entertaining points nonetheless. Service for Chapman. Vaughn now gets it back after Eastmont kept it alive. Stanaway got it over. Near side kill and in by Ashley Kaufman. 17-14. Boy, you gotta give Eastmont a lot of credit. I mean, they're just doing so well at the net. Service. Volschel. Good dig there. Crosses over. Run down by Sackman. Need to get it over. Hall does. Back line to Reyes. Mitchell. Block at the net, but it spins and falls off the kill by Zion Nelson. Lister at 6 foot. She's all of that in front of the net here for the Lake City Timberwolves. And this service is too deep by Riley Chapman, so a point to Eastmont. Nice time to break a little run there. 18-15. Eastmont trails it by 3, and Rebecca Hall on the service. Far side, back it goes. Now Mitchell up front, and that the ball kind of caromed off of her fingers awkwardly. Now Eastmont finally gets back over by Hall. Near side, block at the net. Stanaway keeps it alive. Britt Vaughn too deep though on the kill attempt. Over between Kaufman up front and Zion Nelson for Lake City. Tough lineup. And speaking of Nelson, she's on the service now, leading it by 4. Back line to Volschel, up to Hall, now to Sackman. Sackman, nice. Found a lone Lake City Timberwolf back there, and not much that Riley Chapman could do. She was all by herself. And a point to Eastmont. Colby Volschel on the service. Tough serve, back line it goes. Mitchell up front and too deep, out off of the blast by Ashley Kaufman. So Eastmont within 2, 19-17 here in the second set. Volschel again on the service. Knudsen up front, Mitchell, then again to Kaufman. There's Sackman. Nice job of covering. Now to Damon. Nice kill by Hall, and this one finds a hole. The hit up front by Claire Mitchell. 3-point advantage for Lake City. You get a team to get to 20, and it just seems an avalanche after that. Here's the service by Mitchell. Back line to Hall. Up to Volschel. Then to Sackman. Comes over. Damon's there. Now to Stanaway. Now to Sackman with a nice kill, but Lake City right there for the answer. Another block by Eastmont at the net this time. Now they'll set it up again. Across it goes. Eastmont keeps it alive. Hall falling down. Volschel gets it over. Back line it goes to Knudsen or Mitchell. Near side. Mitchell touches it again. Gets it over. What a volley. Back and forth we go. Sackman on the kill attempt. They're going to say that Lake City was in the net. Point to Eastmont. What a volley in that 38th point of this game. What a rifle service there by Stanaway. Now a touch of the nets. Pancake. Eastmont keeps it alive. Over it goes. Reyes. Mitchell. Tap. Back to Stanaway. Stanaway up front to Sackman. This one hit the net more than it hit the defenders. And it's a point to Lake City. 21-18 the score. Substitution for Lake City. Janae Rayborn comes in, and back to serve is Ashley Kaufman 4 points away from taking the second set. Kaufman on the jump serve. Sackman up front. Stanaway now to Mendez. Ricocheted off of a body, so now it's scramble time for Lake City. They get it over. Stanaway, nice idea, got it over, but Reyes is there to chase it down. Mitchell on the back set, and a point off of the hand of Krista Hawks. And a timeout going to be taken by Eastmont as they trail it 22-18. We will take a 30-second break and come back here. You're watching volleyball live this afternoon on the NCW Life Channel. Here in the second set, Lake City leads it 22-18. We're back after this 30-second timeout. Thanks for joining us for volleyball this afternoon here on the NCW Life Channel. I'm Eric Granstrom, and our score 22-18 with Lake City of Idaho leading here in the second set after winning the first 25-19. We'll get you a score on the baseball game coming up in just a moment. Jump serve here on the service for Lake City after the timeout. Volschel gets it over. Falling down was Reyes. Mitchell on the sets, and a block at the net, and a point to Eastmont. Nice job by Maddie Sackman. Sackman will get the service. Cubs and Nationals in Washington today. Nationals working in the bottom of the fifth. Now trail it 3-1. And just got the bases loaded with 2 outs. This ricochets off the Stanaway and goes out of bounds. 23-19 the score. As Lake City positioning itself to take the second set. Ashley Reyes on the service. And her right-handed serve deep. Hall collects it, and this one just never really had a chance from the get-go on that return. And so now Lake City a point away from taking the second set here. Reyes again on the service for the Timberwolves. Service is in. Hall on the return. Stanaway set. And Mendez. And that's a point for Eastmont. Krista Hawks had the ball go off of her left arm out of bounds. And Mendez. Well, you see that so many times where the person who gets the point then is on the service. And such is the case here for Alondra Mendez for Eastmont. Trailing it 24-20. Gets it in. That's the most important thing. Reyes up front to Mitchell. Cross court. And this time not having the angle is Janae Rayborn. So a point to Eastmont. Wildcats still breathing here in the second set. Mendez again on the service. She has been key for Eastmont here, even though they've lost the first set, but she has been fantastic today. Now the service. Back line spinning as Reyes got it. Then near side it comes over the net. Damon with a touch at the net, and a point for Eastmont. Wow, how about this? 24-22. Eastmont trying to take the air out of the ball here and the wind out of the sails of Lake City from over at Coeur d'Alene. Mendez again on the service, trailing it by 2. Service is in. Reyes on the return. Oh, beautiful, beautiful play by Claire Mitchell. She's done that a few times here in the first 2 sets. And the second set will go to Lake City 24-22. Wow, a battle in that one. So we'll come back after a minute timeouts and get you set up for the third set, as Eastmont will try to be avoiding getting swept here today at home. After Lake City takes the first 2, we'll be back with the third after the 60-second timeout. You're watching live volleyball this afternoon here on the NCW Life Channel. Don't go away. Our broadcast brought to you by First Choice Collision Center, Heritage Memorial Chapel, and Wenatchee Racquet and Athletic Club. I believe it should be Lake City's service here. And it will be Claire Mitchell on the service here for the Timberwolves, who won the first 2 sets. Trying to pull off the sweep here today. Jump serve, back line it goes. And there haven't been many sets that Lake City's given up, but they give up a point right there on Maddie Sackman's kill. In fact, that was going through their schedule. And even in tournament play, they've given up, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets all season. That's it. I'm going to say Lake City. Four hits there, so it's out to Eastmont. 2-0 Wildcats. What a service by Stanaway. Goodness. Get a radar gun on that. Get a radar gun on that kill over there by Ashley Kaufman, who says, all right, I got some speed for you. And Kaufman will get the service after the kill. 2-1 Eastmont. Up by 1. And the service by Kaufman. Back line it goes. Hall. Stanaway just fists it over. Now the kill attempt, and it is a point to Lake City. Caitlin Hunter on the kill here at the net. Lake City with some pretty good size up front, taking advantage of it. Kaufman again on the service. We're tied at 2. Backline Hall. Now to Stanaway, now to Mendez. The block, and it will be a point to Eastmont after it was touched on the block attempts at the line by the Timberwolves. Maddie Sackman now on the service for Eastmont with the Wildcats up 1. Sackman serve in. Janae Rayborn kind of put the arms up high to try to get after it. She was the lone person here on this near side. So the ace for Sackman. Back line to Reyes. Now the kill. Sackman keeps it alive. Volschel back there, but Eastmont didn't have any bodies left. No more shells in the chamber. And so it's a point to Lake City. 4-3. Timberwolves trail it by 1. Service to Ashley Reyes, the libero here for the Timberwolves. Back line to Volschel. Volschel up front to Stanaway. And what do we have? They're going to say 2 hits on Stanaway. A couple of times it's happened to Shane here in this ball game. Reyes again on the service, tied at 4. Lake City looking to take the lead for the first time in this set. Damon backside to Hall. Hall with a block at the net, and I'm going to say the ball was out, I guess, on the hit. So it's a 5-4 Lake City lead. Reyes service. Sackman. Reverse Stanaway. Mendez. Mitchell. She'll have to get it over now. She does. Back line to Stanaway. Now to Damon. Damon gets it to Sackman. Mitchell near side. Kill attempt. And it ricocheted off of 3 hands and then goes out of bounds. Janae Rayborn again with that cross-court kill for the Timberwolves. 3 points in a row now. Lead at 6-4. Service Reyes. Back line to Hall. Hall to Stanaway. Stanaway back to Hall. Hall goes deep, but it's a little too deep and out of bounds. Seven for the score. Reyes again on the service here for Lake City. Back line up front to Stanaway. Near side to Mendez. Mendez in for the point. Well, this is about the fourth or fifth game we've done for Eastmont this year on the NCAA Life Channel. And the best I've seen Alondra Mendez play in games that we've done. And she will go back to the service here as Eastmont trails it by 2, 7-5. Mendez on the serve. Into the nets, however. And a point to Lake City. They'll bring in Knutson, their service specialist. So she will come in. By the way, the Wenatchee Wild got a win or lost last night. Boy, it was a tough game. 5-4 the final. Wenatchee Wild falling to Chilliwack. Tell you more about that coming up. Stanaway to Britt Vaughn. Britt Vaughn's shot blocked at the net. Right there was Zion Nelson using her 6-foot frame to just shut it down. And a point to the Timberwolves. Knutson again on the service. 9-5. with the lead. Backline Sackman up front to Stanaway, crosses over to Vaughn. Vaughn with a left-handed touch. Now off to Hall. Now the set for Vaughn, and it goes out of bounds. Didn't touch anybody, and will be a point to Lake City. Will Calvary scored 17 seconds left in the third period to lift Chilliwack to a 5-4 win over the Wenatchee Wild last night in British Columbia. Yeah, 17 seconds left when he got the goal to win it. Looking like it was going to go overtime, and it looks like this one will not get over here for the Lake City Timberwolves, and will be a point to Eastmont. Cuts the lead to 10-6 now as Emma Damon will drop back and serve here. Damon with her signature sweatband, keeping it out of her eyes. Now reverse sets here, and a beautiful little rotation for Lake City as Zion Nelson gets another point here for the Timberwolves. 11-6. Janae Rayborn on the service. Rayborn too deep. Good eye by Volschel, and good communication here for Eastmont. Substitution here as back into the contest comes Riley Chapman, and she'll replace Janae Rayborn. Meanwhile, service for Eastmont by Rebecca Hall. And Hall diving down, keeps it alive off to Damon. Now to Sackman. Sackman, the ball staying alive. And there should have been into the net called on Lake City there. No call. Sackman gets it back over. Now the block attempt. Damon keeps it alive. Volschel can't get it over. Too bad. Good hustle play on both sides of the net. And a point to Lake City. Back in comes Caitlin Hunter. And the service to Zion Nelson. Nelson serve too deep. Substitution Mendez comes back in for Britt Vaughn. 12-8 the score as Colby Volschel now will serve for the Wildcats. Volschel service back line. Return. A little reverse set and a kill for Caitlin Hunter. Wild got a couple of goals from Cooper Zeck last night, a couple of goals from Jasper Weatherby, but fell 5-4. They're on the road again tonight. Powell River against the Kings. What good hustle play there for Lake City, keeping the ball alive. Near side it goes. Stanaway crosses over, but there's Lake City again. Sackman. Volschel back to Sackman. Backline to Reyes. Another great volley. And Damon just can't quite get enough of that one. 14-8. Lake City on top. Timberwolves won the first two sets. 25-19 and 22. Back line, they got to get it over. Hall does. Nice hit from back there. Here's a spike attempt at the net, and it was originally blocked by Mendez, but then she got caught in between there on a jump, and we're going to get a timeout taken here by Coach Dana Pruitt. So we'll take a break as well on the broadcast. 30-second timeout. 15-8. Lake City on top. You're watching live volleyball this afternoon on the NCW Life Channel. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Broadcast brought to you in part by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk on the wild side. And Town Nissan, your local East Wenatchee Nissan dealer, where honesty and transparency come first. Also by Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee, real clothes for real women. And Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge, your Town Chrysler family store, where people get nice surprises. Claire Mitchell on the service here for Lake City after the timeout by Eastmont. Timberwolves lead it by 7. Hall on the return. Mendez gets it over. Mitchell up front. Near side it goes, and a touch, and a beautiful look there by Ashley Kaufman to find the hole in the pond, and ball falls in for the point. 16-8. Lake City in charge here of this third set. Mitchell on the service, and an ace. Tough return attempt on that ball that just has that top spin and dies over the net. Mitchell again on the service. There, almost hit the net. Damon blocked at the net, and a point going to be whistled here as it was 4 hits by Eastmont. 18-8, Lake City. Number 4 ranked team in the state of Idaho in 5A classification. And here's Mendez, a little flat-footed smack of the net, and the defense of Kate DeCoeur and Caitlin Hunter blocks it, but it falls on the Lake City side. So a point for Eastmont. Stanaway on the service. Sackman brings it back, and this is going to be a point for the Wildcats. Maddie Sackman says sometimes those ugly hits can have good results. Stanaway on the service. Back line. Up front to Mitchell. Mitchell, and boy, the angle there and the hops by Caitlin Hunter. She's 5'10", and by the time she whacked that ball, she was, what, 8.5 feet up there with her hand. 19-10, Lake City on top, and it's the service by Ashley Kaufman. Back line to Voschel, up front to Stanaway. Stanaway off to Mendez. Mendez diving down. Nice play by Mitchell over there. Eastmont on the return. Stanaway to Sackman. Block at the nets. This one got over. Back it goes. Voschel keeps it alive. Now to Stanaway. Stanaway up to Sackman. Sackman back line. Return. Dunk by Mendez. What a volley back and forth we go. Up front, Hall. Now to Stanaway. Now to Mendez. Little tap. Mitchell with the return. Now to Reyes. Now back line. It goes out. Point Eastmont. Some fun points here in all 3 sets of this one this afternoon. Sackman back to serve as Claire Hibberer comes back in. Running is Mitchell. Reyes gets it over. Off to Hall. Stanaway. Now to Hall again with the kill. It's in. A couple of good points in a row here for Eastmont. As Maddie Sackman continues to serve for the Wildcats. Trailing it by 7. Back line it goes. Off to Reyes. Now the kill attempt. Eastmont blocks it. Stanaway goes rear corner. Mitchell. They get it over. No, and then Eastmont lost the rotation there. As Damon hit it, but then nobody was there. And Stanaway tried to get after it, but couldn't reach it. Another substitution as Kate DeCoeur comes back in, and Ashley Reyes on the service for Lake City, leading it by 8. Hall on the return. Near side to Mendez. Mendez had to hit the net, but it stays in. Mitchell near side, and here's the kill attempt. And all day long, Jane Rayborn finding that hole across on that kill. We saw that with Eastmont and Wenatchee earlier, where Wenatchee kept going to that weak side corner front. And no answer for it. And this one's going to hit the nets and be a point to Eastmont, but it's pretty much all Lake City here in the 3rd set. Britt Vaughn comes in. Mendez will drop back to serve it, trailing at 21-13. Service by Mendez. Back line returned by Lake City, and that was kind of a little bit too soft on the set there by Mitchell. Didn't give Nelson a chance to get after it, so a point to Eastmont. Mendez, who has served quite a few points for the Wildcats here this afternoon. Back there again with the right-handed serve from the left side. Just kind of threw it up awkwardly and catches Lake City out of rotation, so an ace for Mendez. Mendez thumping that ball on the dribble. Here we go with the service. It's deep and a little too deep on the serve there. 22-15. Voschel comes back in for Eastmont. And back in is Knudsen to replace DeCoeur for Lake City. Chloe Knudsen on the service. Soft serve. Hall there. Britt Vaughn block. And I thought maybe it could have been called a double hit there. And it was. All right. Didn't know if they're going to blow that whistle or not. So the point to Eastmont, trailing it by 6. Damon and Sackman tried a little press of the hand there. They missed each other. Damon with the service. Back line it goes. Knudsen for the return. Off to, and again, cross court it goes. Eastmont's got to get somebody over there in that front left corner when the ball comes near Rayborn here near side. She just is killing them all day on that placement and gets a point again. 23-16. Service back line to Hall. Now to Vaughn. Vaughn with a kill. Lake City returns. Back line it goes to Sackman. Sackman up to Damon. Damon to Hall. Got it over. Mitchell. Knutson. Back to Mitchell. And knew she could not get enough up there to get the kill. We've heard my friend Leanne Branham say you don't want your setter trying to do too many kills. Hall with the service. Tough serve there. Mitchell. Backline. Volschel got it across. Mitchell with the touch and the points. Well, she got it that time right at the net. And Lake City a point from doing the sweep here today. 24-17. Here we go. Zion Nelson with the service. And a tough serve at that. Volschel on the return. Off to Damon. Now to Brett Vaughn. And Vaughn got a little help from the net there as it skimmed across the top of it, causing a little bit of a hiccup defensively for Lake City. So Volschel on the serve, trying to keep it alive for Eastmont. 24-18. Nice soft serve there. Near side. Then the kill attempt. And Volschel backing up. Just keeps it alive. Now, whoa, beautiful save there. And the kill again. And that's going to do it. Damon just can do nothing but laugh after the speed of the hit that caromed off to her hands out of bounds. And that will be it. 25-18 is our score in the third set. So a 3-0 sweep by Lake City over Eastmont here today. We're going to take a 2-minute break and we will come back and wrap it up here from Eastmont High School this afternoon. Thanks for watching volleyball today here on the NCW Life Channel. Again, our coverage brought to you by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk to the wild side. Town Nissan, your local East Wenatchee Nissan dealer, where honesty and transparency come first. Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee, real clothes for real women. And Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge, your Town Chrysler family store where people get nice surprises. And by the way, should there be any injury timeouts, they're brought to you by Confluence Health, Wenatchee's premier treatment center for all sports-related injuries. We'll come back and wrap it up here after this 2-minute break. Thanks for watching volleyball today on the NCW Life Channel.
Once again here to Eastmont High School. The Lady Cats fall today to a very good team. The Lake City Timberwolves win at 25-19, 22, and 18. Now talking with head coach Dana Pruitt. Well, Dana, you knew this was a good team coming in. They're ranked 4th in the state in Idaho.
Yes.
Very talented.
Extremely talented. By far best setter that I've seen, even statewide. Just her athleticism. I hope it inspires a whole bunch of girls that that's the level of volleyball that you want to achieve too. And then they had some great hitters too, but really a good consistent team. And we knew that. We kind of talked about it as we warmed up, that we had to come in with an intent and a focus that we knew we'd have to work hard. So I'm really proud of the girls. I told them at the end of the game that that's state level. That's where we want to be at the end of the season. That's the team we want to be playing. So. Well,
we talked about kind of those benchmark games this season, you know, early on, of course, with West Valley and then with Wenatchee and now Lake City. Tell me, I mean, we're down the road now. We're halfway mark has passed us, and we're getting ready for playoffs and things like that. Are you liking how the girls are playing? I'm loving how the girls are playing. They just, every day, they impress me. They work hard. They have a great commitment to one another. We've been working on when we make an error, we want the ball back. And so it's a new philosophy, and I think the girls are really adapting to it and taking it with stride. So I'm really proud of them. And today was an example. We didn't come out with a win, but what a great matchup. Yeah. I mean, you know, we pushed them hard, and we pushed ourselves hard. So and so many fun points. Yeah. I mean, there was the volleys like crazy in all 3 sets. Exactly. I mean, our hitters were on. Our defense was just scrappy and going after it. It kept both setters on, which is the first time that I did that.
but we needed it because they targeted one, which is your setter. So it was an adjustment that I think they're learning to adapt. So when we have to make that adjustment, they go with it and go with the flow, knowing that each one of them can step up and perform when they need to. So
Well, it's fun to watch today. Very tough team, but I know your girls will bounce back.
I know they will too. So we're just, and that's the team that you want to be working with to get that end goal of hopefully us back to state. So.
Dana Pruitt joining us here on the postgame show. Again, finals here today, 25-19, 22, and 18, but some very fun points throughout all three sets. Eastmont falling today to Lake City, and we wish them best travels heading back to Idaho and Coeur d'Alene here this afternoon. That's going to wrap it up. Thanks to Michael Price up there doing the camera work, and Becca Freemuth back in the studios. I'm Eric Grandstrom. We appreciate you joining us for volleyball today here on the NCW Live Channel. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks for watching Eastmont Wildcat Volleyball on the NCW Live Channel. Today's broadcast has been presented by Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge, Town Nissan, Collins Fashions, and the Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Bringing local sports to you, we are the NCW Live Channel. Thanks for watching.